Home Minister Amit Shah visits Jammu and Kashmir. Reviews security situation in the Union Territory. Assures foolproof security for all. But as selected killings rise in J&K, how impactful will the assurances be? Will 2023 be more bloody or less bloody? The big focus on India first. Because it really simply only boils down to that question. After all the talk and all the visits and everything that happens in J&K, is this new year going to be less violent or more violent? I'm going to try and answer that question here on India First. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Shiv. These are the headlines. Urinator Shankar Mishra makes an absurd claim in court, alleges that the elderly lady passenger actually peed on herself. Why did Shankar apologize to the passenger then? Home Minister Amit Shah in Kashmir speaks to families of Rajouri attack victims, says will draw 360-degree security plan to thwart terror in the valley further. Prime Minister Modi flags off Ganga Vilas cruise liner today. The Made in India vessel will set sail over 3,200 kilometers, cover 27 rivers and 50 tourist spots over 51 days. Hours after meeting Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal accuses him of boasting of his administrative powers in the meeting. LG office sources deny all claims. Anger against Tamil Nadu governor spills onto the streets of Chennai. DMK ally protests, demands resignation of Governor R.N. Ravi. Home Minister Amit Shah was in Jammu today for a crucial security review. He started the day by meeting with the families of the Rajouri terror attack victims. He spoke to them and he also assured that all steps and measures are being taken to thwart and bring down terror in Jammu and Kashmir even further. Since the abrogation of Article 370, the incidents of terror have come down, he said, and that a new 360-degree Suraksha Chakra would be put in place to bring violence down even further. Take a look.
It is another desolate winter in Jammu and Kashmir. But terror has shown no signs of cooling down. And an air of ominous foreboding lined the visit of Home Minister Amit Shah to the Northern Union Territory. First on his agenda was a visit to the families of victims of the recent twin terror attacks in Rajouri near Jammu. But turbulent weather meant the Home Minister couldn't fly the distance and had to speak to them over the phone.
ये दोनों घटनाएं जो 2 दिन में हुई उसकी जांच कल ही भारत सरकार ने NIA को सौंप दी है। NIA और जम्मू पुलिस दोनों मिलकर इस घटना की जांच करेंगे।
But the centerpiece of the Home Minister's visit was a top-level security review meeting designed to ensure that India's battle against cross-border terrorism amidst a collapsing Pakistan does not go off the rails.
आतंकवादी ग्रुपों के सपोर्ट सिस्टम के लिए और उनके सूचना तंत्र के लिए भी सभी पहलुओं पर आज चर्चा हुई है और एक कह सकते हैं कि संपूर्ण 360 डिग्री सुरक्षा का चक्र बनाने का आज सभी एजेंसियों ने भरोसा भी दिलाया है और इस पर चर्चा भी हुई है।
It was Home Minister Shah who had announced the abrogation of Article 370 in August 2019. Now, over 3 years later, the pressure is building on the Modi government to deliver an atmosphere where elections can be held. First the state, and then the Union Territory, have been without a government or chief minister since December 2018. The Home Minister has now promised a 360-degree security plan. The big question, will 2023 prove to be the year when normalization begins? Bureau Report, India Today.
So the Home Minister is talking about a Suraksha Chakra for Jammu and Kashmir, even while affirming that terror has come down since the abrogation of Article 370. Well, the Home Minister was in Jammu a day after the Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey at his annual press conference spoke specifically about terror machinery across the line of control and the impulse of Pakistan, despite its internal problems, to continue to foment terror in Jammu and Kashmir. Take a look at what the Army Chief said yesterday. Years change, seasons change, but what never changes is Pakistan's cross-border terror machinery. Most times they try, they're intercepted by our forces, but that hasn't stopped the flow of infiltration attempts across the line of control. And from selectively targeting minorities in the valley to using drones to smuggle weapons to cross-border terrorism, Pakistan's channels of terror are hardly new. But as another year passes and a new year dawns, the Indian Army is keeping a close watch on these moves. Addressing the media, the Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, has made it clear that despite tall claims made by our hostile neighbour, cross-border terrorism and terrorist infrastructure continues to prevail.
As far as the situation in the Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, I think the ceasefire understanding, which came about in February of 2021, that is holding well. The cross-border support to terrorism and the terrorist infrastructure, however, remains.
General Pandey asserts that the valley has seen a sharp decline in the number of infiltration attempts across the line of control, but pointed out that Pakistan's strategy and reorientation meant more violence from across the border in the Jammu and Punjab regions.
Targeted killings करे, minorities को target करे, ताकि जो उनकी विफलता वैली एरिया में है, उनका विचार है कि साउथ ऑफ पीर पंजाल रीजन में उसको ज़्यादा अंजाम दें.
The Chief of Army Staff also assured the nation that the counter-infiltration grid will remain active in the valley. The recent twin attacks in Rajouri fresh in mind, the army moves into 2023. The Home Minister's promised 360-degree Suraksha Chakra will hopefully pay even greater dividends and consolidate the good work done so far. Bureau Report, India Today. And I want to go across to India Today's Sunil Ji Bhatt, who's live from Jammu, Ashraf Wani live from Srinagar tonight, as we decode what this Suraksha Chakra is going to mean for 2023. Important visit, Sunil, by the Home Minister. A rare visit by Amit Shah, but it comes with a great deal of expectations on the back of the twin attacks in Rajouri district, but also a great deal of expectations now on the levels of violence expected for the rest of 2023, which is expected to be a very, very crucial year as far as security levels are concerned. What are you reading into this?
Absolutely, Shiv. It was a very significant visit of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah today, and I have been out since 4 in the morning and following this story very, very closely. He was scheduled to visit Rajouri, where that dastardly terror attack took place on January 1. He wanted to meet the family members of the victims personally. However, due to bad weather, his chopper could not take off from Jammu. But nevertheless, he spoke to the family members of the victims on phone, and he assured them that that the government will provide them all possible help and the killings will be avenged. That's the assurance that was given by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. But meanwhile, he went to Raj Bhavan in Jammu. He held important security related meetings with top officials from the security establishment as well as from the civil administration. And later he addressed a press conference in Jammu where he clearly said that the security grid will be strengthened and terrorism will not be allowed to raise its head again in Jammu. He said that he wants to assure the people of Jammu that terrorism will not again raise its head here in Jammu. Because Shiv, if we remember the decade of 90s and the period between 2000 and 2010, there were series of massacres of the minority Hindu community in the hilly regions of Jammu region, whether in Doda, erstwhile Doda district, or in the twin border districts of Rajouri and Poonch. Now, after the targeted attacks on the minority Hindus in Rajouri, there is concern that that more such attacks could take place, and that is why Union Home Minister Amit Shah is taking this matter very seriously. He is personally monitoring the situation, and he himself came to Jammu and he held important meetings with the security officials, and the message is loud and clear that there is zero tolerance to terror. And he also
and he also talks about that Suraksha Chakra, and there are going to be very, very high expectations from across the board. Ashraf, coming to you, the expectation this year from the government is that the political process, the election process will restart. In many ways, Amit Shah has that pressure on him as well to create an atmosphere where elections can happen again. How are you seeing 2023, Ashraf, on the back of what Amit Shah has just said?
Absolutely, Shiv. As I was going through your first report, where it is clear that this is a very important year for the Government of India, because elections are due and there is a state without a chief minister, without a public, or we can say elected government. And before the 2024 parliamentary elections, the Government of India, particularly the BJP, would like to see elected government in Jammu and Kashmir, because it is a lot of criticism going on against the move of NDA or BJP government on 5th of August 2019. In fact, because we are seeing that the claim was then made by Home Minister himself, Prime Minister, in fact, that within the months, the situation in the Kashmir Valley as well as in the state will improve and there will be no terrorism. But we are seeing that the start of this new year, 2023, started with one of the terror attacks in the Rajouri, in which 7 innocent people got killed. And there are many more worries, because one of the recently infiltration bid was filed on the line of control in the same sector, and also some infiltrators killed in a truck who were proceeding towards Jammu. That means there is there was some kind of infiltration probably which may have succeeded their infiltration into the Kashmir Valley. And after the winters, there will be again the strategy which was adopted by the Pakistan, that terror attacks may increase in the Kashmir Valley. So, security is already intact after the abrogation of Article 370 across the Jammu and Kashmir. But there are also new challenges, as Sunil was saying, the targeted killings, the specifically the strategy where now the areas like in Jammu and Pir Panchal are being chosen for the terror attacks.
Absolutely.
That is some kind of the worry with the Government of India. But the main focus of the government is election. And also very importantly, the Bharat Jodo Yatra is next week entering into the Jammu and Kashmir, and that will have also its political impact as well as the security impact also. That security is very important also for the government here in Jammu and Kashmir.
Thanks very much, Ashraf and Sunil, for getting us that live report on Amit Shah's crucial visit. Big expectations. We'll be keeping a very close track of that. Thank you both for joining me for the moment. And joining us live tonight is one of India's foremost counter-terror experts, former chief of the 15 Corps, that's the Srinagar Corps. He was the Corps commander in Srinagar when the famous surgical strikes took place in 2016. Welcoming Lieutenant General Satish Dua onto this show. Thank you very much, General Dua, for being with us on our coverage. The Home Minister, sir, was in Jammu today for what was expected to be a pretty comprehensive security review. I'd like to start off by, quoting one of the lines that he said in his press conference that's become a headline everywhere. He said that the government and the security forces are coming up with a 360-degree Suraksha Chakra for Jammu and Kashmir. What did he mean by that, sir, in your view?
In my view, a 360-degree Suraksha Chakra would mean involving all the stakeholders, not leaving it merely to the army or to the JK police or any other intelligence agencies or central paramilitary forces. When you say 360-degree, it starts right from the LOC. That is, you take care of infiltration. A robust anti-infiltration grid is in place.
Yes.
But it also means that apart from the deployment of the paramilitary forces, the Central Armed Police Forces and the JK Police in the interiors, it also means rejuvenating the civil society. It also means rejuvenating the political process, because let's not forget, at grassroots level, political process has empowered. There are the panchayats and the district development councils. So, and we also saw after this, and it made much headlines everywhere, that after this incident in Rajouri, village defense committees, now called village defense guards, are being rejuvenated, where a few selected personnel in villages will be armed as first responders to protect themselves. So when he says 360 degrees, 360 degrees means involving all the stakeholders, not leaving it to the organs of the government only.
Is there, will it be much more than what is being done right now, sir? Because, you've been in the 15 Corps, and I do know that security strategy has in many ways been 360 degrees already. It does involve all the stakeholders, civil society, the local populations, the intelligence agencies, everyone involved. So is this basically a tightening up of the existing structures?
Let me just talk about an anti-infiltration grid is in place. Security forces, to include the police, the CRPF and other forces, there is a counter-terrorism grid all over. Yet, I dare say that neither can the army be present at every inch or every meter of the agency, nor can the police forces and all other forces put together be deployed in every village or hamlet. So what do we need? We also need some first responders. And that is what is happening by giving arms to some selected people, the village defense committees of the youth. Those days it was village defense committees in 90s and early 200s. I have operated as a colonel. My unit was there in Rajouri, Punch area. And those days also there was village defense committees. Now village defense committees were not so effective then because there were no mobile phones. Today there are mobile phones. And the moment an incident starts off somewhere, everyone can sort of inform everybody using mobile phones. So there lies the difference. So that is one aspect. But you say civil society, I think it is larger. On one hand, it is becoming Atmanirbhar. Having the first response ready is becoming Atmanirbhar. On the other hand, when I said strengthening civil society or involving civil society, it is much larger dynamic at stake. And let me explain that. Today, a new term called hybrid terrorists has come to fore in the last 1 or 2 years. These are not well-trained, not trained at all terrorists who do one odd act of terrorist violence and then merge into society. Now, it is a tough call to catch them without the help of civil society. Who is going to do it? The civil society must come forward and then throw up such errant individuals. Today, the civil society has seen that businesses are running, tourists are thronging to whole of J&K, more in Kashmir. The apple, the fruit business is growing. There are markets are open. So when people have started tasting the feel-good factor of moving towards normalcy, then I think it is also incumbent on their coming forward. And that's what I meant by
Yeah.
strengthening some of the stakeholders more than ever before.
So as we know, General, Pakistan is in a state of pretty unprecedented turbulence right now. There's an economic crisis. There's a food crisis. There's a great deal of political uncertainty and turbulence there as well. Given what's happening across the line of control and across the border, what does 2023 look like to you? Having been chief of the 15 Corps, obviously, you always take into account what's happening on the other side. Given what you're seeing right now, what do you expect 2023 to look like, sir?
Look, you started talking about Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is in a bad spot politically, economically. Its own Western Front is activated.
Yes.
They're having issues with Afghanistan of unprecedented magnitude. Their own terrorism is coming to roost. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, the Pashtun problems are multiplying. So, be that as it may, I think despite all that, Pakistan is not going to let up its involvement in Kashmir, in fomenting trouble across the line of control into J&K.
Yeah.
And we are seeing that is why they're activating areas south of Pir Panjal also. Back in the day when I was a co-commander there, everyone would have given you conventional wisdom that, in winters the passes are closed because of heavy snowfall, and so then activities do spill south of Pir Panjal in Jammu, Poonch, Rajouri areas. But the fact of the matter is that today they have to do something. The other side, their handlers across, have to do something to instill fear in the minds of the people, because people have started moving towards normalcy. People are seeing the fruits of good living. Earlier, when I was, you alluded to the time when I was Corps Commander, that is 6-7 years ago, there were bans, hartal, a calendar was issued by the separatists, and so on and so forth. But today, everything is open all year round. So multiplexes are coming up. There are fast food chains that are opening their outlets. So many things are happening today. The youth there is not looking at development only through internet. They are seeing the fruits of the spoil. Now investment will start to pay results. The FDI that has been pledged in a year or two. So what I'm trying to say, when this is happening, Pakistan, ISI is bound to foment trouble for us. So what do we expect ahead in this year? I don't think we should sit back and rest on our laurels, because much has been achieved over the last 3 years. And then this 360-degree, whatever else it may entail, I gave you my understanding of it. I think we need to get to a stage where we not only frustrate Pakistan designs, we also need to set the stage to give vent to political aspirations. The political process must start, toward which also several announcements have been made.
In fact, that is my final question, General Dua, because there hasn't been a chief minister or an elected government in J&K since I think December 2018. The abrogation of Article 370 happened in August 2019. The Home Minister today made that pronouncement that the abrogation has brought levels of terror down, which is actually true in terms of numbers. But do you feel, in an overall sense, that the political process could resume sometime this year? Because there have been whispers in the corridors of government that they may make some kind of an announcement as early as April about the resumption of the political process.
Well, the point is, at the end of this process where things are improving, the real test will come when the political process resumes. Because you have to, when you say stakeholders, they are the biggest stakeholder, people there. And people's representatives must be a part of governance. And the government has also made it clear that as soon as the process is ready, delimitation and the other procedural things are over. And now, as soon as the groundwork is laid, there have been announcements. Like you said, we are hearing about some announcement may come in April.
Yes.
Whenever it does, I think 2023, we are poised well. Pakistan is in trouble on both sides because they're seeing Jammu and Kashmir situation improving, and they're seeing the situation in Afghanistan worsening, which is, and of course, their internal situation you described well. I won't expand the discussion. But I think back to J&K, the time is right, to my mind, that we grow the lot of stakeholders and get their people of J&K to be involved in governance, and that can only be done by the political process, resuming the political process.
The 360-degree Suraksha Chakra is what we'll be looking out for. We'll be reporting on it as well. As always, sir, very grateful for your wisdom. Thank you very much, General Dua, for joining us here on India First. Thank you, sir. And finally, India made a great start in the FIH Hockey World Cup with a brilliant win against Spain today. Harmanpreet Singh's side gave the sellout crowd at the Birsa Munda Stadium in Odisha's Rourkela plenty to cheer as they made a great start to the tournament. Here's how the action unfolded.
It is Shri Navneem Patnaik, the Honourable Chief Minister.
A grand opening in Rourkela, an electrifying atmosphere with fans cheering. India started their FIH Hockey World Cup in magnificent style.
This magnificent stadium on the left.
India set the tone with some aggressive play. Amit Rohidas built on the pressure to convert a penalty corner and put India 1-0 up.
And it's Amit. And here they go again, do India across the face of goal.
As half-time approached, India doubled the advantage with Hardik Singh scoring a fantastic goal.
I don't think he did. But he has done. It's been stopped on the line.
India could have had a third goal in the third quarter, only for the referee to disallow Harmanpreet Singh's penalty.
So stick with the hit out.
India created many chances in the third quarter, Shamsher missing a golden chance, while Harmanpreet surprisingly missing another penalty corner.
He's not going to keep him off, but no, it's wide. No, I mean, I thought that was in. I'd gone with the crowd on this side. And it comes, a couple of deflections.
Spain built pressure in the fourth quarter but failed to convert two penalty corners. India defended well to win the match. The next game will be against England on Sunday.
By the Indian number 8.
That's it on India First. Thanks so much for watching. Keep watching India Today. Coming up next is a special broadcast with Union Minister Nitin Gadkari at the India Today Banking Awards. Don't miss it. It's coming up next.
It's 2023, and India remains the sole shining star in the global economy. So what